Right before we get started with this unboxing, we'd like to once again thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video. OMG BBG! Welcome back to another Pro Series unboxing! This is Union Achilles from Beyblade Burst GT. Yo, this Bey is hype. It had so many awesome gimmicks. You know, this is the first time that we saw the detachable Union sword, so that was awesome. And then the convert disc, there's just so many great things about this Bey. And of course, Aiga was really sick in the anime, although he wasn't, you know, like a crazy main character. His appearance was sick in the show.
Yeah,
so yeah.
It's so nice to see more Achilles Bey being remastered into Pro Series from Hasbro.
Hasbro must really like Achilles because we also have the turbo version of this as well, right? And they seem to really like the GT series because they're releasing almost like every single Bey, it feels like, from that series. But can't complain. This here is just one of those great ones that you have to get. If you didn't get it during the initial release with Takara Tomy, then this is going to be your go-to. You need to get this Bey. It's amazing, it's super fun. So let's take a look at the back of the box here. This is of course a right spinning balance type. So we have the GT chip, we have the weight there, and then what else we got? Of course, right there, the description says removable Union sword. So it points out the main ability of that energy layer. And then the convert disc here, 2 forge disc modes. And we'll go into that a little bit later if you guys don't know what that's about, but super sick disc, I really like it. Not the greatest disc in the world, but I think it's super fun to use. And then of course we get our Xtend Plus, so 3 tip modes. This is a driver that we've seen a billion times over and it really doesn't get old. It's just a really good driver overall. So it's really nice that Takara Tomy gave it the stock combo. And another thing that I noticed is that this is another Achilles Bey that has the stock combo versus like some of the other releases like Spriggan or whatever Longinus, like they don't get stock combos. But Achilles is, you know, getting that stock combo treatment one after another. Over at Hasbro, do we have a bunch of Achilles lovers? Huh? No love for the other Beys?
Yeah, give us stock combos on other ones too.
You may as well give it to like every single Pro Series release.
Or maybe
it just makes sense.
The parts on this guy is just easier to produce.
That too.
Yeah, but
that too.
Not complaining. These parts are pretty sick, so thank you.
Yeah, and then one last thing. Let's go over stats. I forgot about that. Attack is pretty darn high. Weight is also really high as well. And then all the other stats are pretty subpar. But once again, these type of statistics on here, you don't have to pay attention to it that much. It's all about how it actually performs in the stadium. So let's get right to unboxing. But right before we open it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications. You can find us on Instagram at Geek Dosage and on TikTok at BeybladeGeeks Official. Let's go, Achilles!
So also comes with the light launcher.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Yeah, like the same launcher we've seen on all the other Pro Series like bundles.
Nothing special. It's kind of just, you know, there for, I don't know, if you break all your other string launchers and whatnot. We don't actually need it.
Yeah, I wish we'd gotten like more releases for launchers from Hasbro. Maybe one day.
Yeah, if they just released string launchers separately, that'd be amazing. Okay, yeah, it's already together. Looking pretty darn good. Okay,
like,
so
can't even tell that it's not Takara Tomy.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's amazing, guys. So nice. Great feel.
With all the original gimmicks.
Ooh, Union sword is out.
Stickers as well.
Actual stickers because it's Pro Series, so you get to do the entire experience yourself. Let's do it. Let's put on the stickers and we'll go over all the parts. Okay, stickers are on. Here are all of the parts laid out. This is your Union Achilles. And just looking at this, it gets me so excited because it reminds me of the good times when GT first started introducing the weights and everything, and this is where Beys started getting more intricate. So I really love this Bey. There's just so many parts to it. In my opinion, if I could have a Bey that has like 10 different parts, it would just be so fun to me. So let's go over everything. We have the GT chip. There's really not that much to talk about. On the back, of course, you have the teeth, right? Hasbro teeth from Pro Series has been notorious for being a little bit weaker than Takara Tomy.
So this release is considered Wave 5. And from the sounds of it, there has been some improvements to the materials, so I don't think we need to be too worried about the teeth wear.
Next up, we got the layer weight. This is Retsu, so this one here is pretty common. You've seen this in Slash Valkyrie and everything like that. It's basically heavier on one side, so it is really good for those attack types where you want one of the blades to be like heavier striking. And so yeah, this is fitting because it also pairs well with that convert disc, which we'll talk about later on. Let's move over to the energy layer base. So this is getting to the really exciting stuff here. So when you use this alone by itself, this is considered that speed mode. Speed mode is what Takara Tomy calls it. You're, of course, lighter weight. You don't have those big union swords to give you that extra attack, but it has very well balanced performance overall. By no means is it a bad Bey when you are not using the union swords.
It's always nice to see more variety when you want to customize your Bey further.
The shape of this is slightly more round when the union sword is off, so it's a little bit more balanced overall with that stronger defense attribute and everything when used this way. But hands down though, the best part is definitely the union sword piece. This is an additional part that you can attach onto your Union Achilles to get that extra oomph in your attacks. And look at it, it's beautiful. Like, this is the predecessor that inspired the Infinite Swords. It's just great. It's so much thicker. It makes the blades a little bit pointier, goes a little bit higher up as well.
It fits perfectly flushed with the energy layer base.
Yeah, it adds a little bit of height to everything, makes it thicker. It's just overall a really great piece. We tend to battle with it on, obviously, because it just, you know, hits way harder as well. So this is something to really look forward to if you're eyeing this Union Achilles. Now if we move over to the disc, this one here is Convert. And honestly, it's probably not the best disc, but I really like this one. It's just so cool that you can change modes on it. You'll notice that it has, of course, the metal, right? The main piece of the forged disc. And you have a yellow plastic piece as well that also houses even more metal in it that can actually be spun around. And this is basically the piece that will decide which mode you're in. There are arrows on it as well to help you figure out which direction you need to line it up with. So on the main metal piece, there's also a thicker side as well. You can either play with this disc using the balance mode or the unbalanced mode. Of course, if you want better stamina, better defense, everything like that, you'll want to use it in the balance mode where you'll offset the weights. You'll essentially rotate the yellow piece around so that the arrows are opposite sides from each other.
So this is pretty much controlling the weight distribution of your Bey.
Yep, the center of gravity will be skewed to one side if you move it in the other direction and you line up the arrows. So the metal piece that's on the yellow enclosure there, if you match it up with the arrow on the main metal piece of the forged disc, you'll have an unbalanced mode, and of course your attacks theoretically should hit a lot harder when your opponent hits that side. So it's pretty fitting, right? If you throw on the Union Sword, also change your Convert disc to the unbalanced mode as well, so you get those stronger attacks.
And then last but definitely not least, this is probably one of the best parts in this combo.
It's been introduced to so many balance type Beys and it just doesn't seem to go away. This is Xtend Plus, and you get 3 modes of this. You have Stamina, Defense, and Attack mode.
The pros tend to stick with the Stamina mode, so that's pretty much the go-to.
Life after death with this tip is great because of that plate on there. So if you don't have an Xtend Plus, this is a very easy way to get it. And of course, why wouldn't you like this Bey, right? Just get this Bey, guys. Go buy it. Let's put it together and we'll show you what it looks like inside the game as well. Snatch that code from us. We'll hook you up. Let's throw together our Union Achilles. Of course, we're going to put the Union Sword on.
Snap in your GT chip.
Yep. Oh, can't forget that actually.
The weight first.
The weight, yeah, because this is not like DB, guys. It's not the same. Sometimes you lock in the weight afterwards. Nice.
Then turn it upside down and lock the tabs.
So amazing. Great design. GT was so fun. Convert disc is going to go on in the unbalanced mode. One thing we noticed actually is that our version of this from Pro Series is a little bit harder to twist. The yellow plastic gets caught more often, and I just find it harder to turn overall compared to our Takara Tomy one. So keep that in mind when you're trying to play around with this one here. You have to lift up the yellow piece. You have to basically push down on the metal, lift up the yellow plastic, and then rotate. So it can be a little tricky. And then I'm gonna have it so that the double arrows will line up a little bit better with the big blue blade as soon as it moves a little bit when it unlocks.
So get all the weights on one side.
Yep. So when it unlocks like once or twice, the weights should be lining up a lot better at this tip, basically. So as it loosens, it'll get a little bit stronger with the attacks. Nice.
Yeah.
That is it. Your Union Achilles. Just beautiful. Go get it. Go buy this right now.
We're big fans.
Go to Toys R Us if you still have them. Target, Walmart, whatever. Go look through all of the shelves and the aisles. Get this Bey. We always like to compare our Pro Series to Takara Tomy, so we're going to do a little weight comparison.
So this is Pro Series, 61.85 grams.
61.85, so almost 62. Okay. From the past, we've noticed that Pro Series is a little bit lighter. So here's Takara Tomy.
62.73.
Oh, so less than 1 gram difference. I was actually expecting like 2 or more. That's not bad. That's not too bad. One thing we did notice as well, the central tip, so the sharp tip in the center, it's actually recessed a little bit more on the Pro Series version. So it sticks out a little bit less, which means your stamina and your defense modes might be a little bit more aggressive or go out of control a little bit easier when you compare it to our Takara Tomy version. And here is Union Achilles in our game. Of course, it looks great. I find that with the game, if you get like a crappy bay in real life, the game makes it slightly better. In this case, this bay is sick in both real life and in the game.
Yep, this is your Pro Series parts. So we had another like Union Achilles wannabe back then, right?
Hypersphere version.
And this one's original parts.
The real deal. Go get this bay, guys. It's amazing. Let's do the test battle.
3, 2, 1. Or Vanguard. Pro Series as well.
Oh, I'm in defense mode right now. You can see I was moving quite a bit for a defense mode.
Strong attacks.
Stamina tip. 3, 2, 1.
Judgment Joker in the house.
Oh, that's gonna be your downfall, sir.
It's still?
Yeah. Attack mode. 3, 2, 1.
Dragon also Pro Series.
Oh no! You see, that's exactly what happens with the attack tip, so you have to be very careful when you're using it. Definitely go with defense or stamina if you want to consistently win. So that is it on our unboxing of Union Achilles from Beyblade vs. Pro Series. This is a sick bay. We've said it like a billion times now. Go buy this right now if you already haven't. So that's pretty much it. Let us know what you think of this bay down in the comment section. And right before we sign off from this video, we want to give another shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring this video and for continuing to support our channel. Squarespace gives people a powerful and beautiful online platform from which to create your website. Connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated, members-only content, manage your members, send email communications, and leverage audience insights, all on one easy-to-use platform. Create a community on your Squarespace website with a fully integrated commenting system that supports threaded comments, replies, and likes. Use their powerful blogging tools to categorize, share, and schedule your posts too. So once you're ready to launch, use squarespace.com/BeybladeGeeks to get 10% off your first website or domain. And that's it for our unboxing video. We'll check you in the next one. And as always,
Geeks out!